All right, let's get into that whole fiasco regarding the chair of the Parliament's powerful Intelligence and Security Committee. This is Labor's Peter Khalil, having to issue his own colleague, Home Affairs Minister Clare O'Neil, with a please explain notice last week in writing over what appears to be a bungled terrorist relisting. Join me now to get the latest on this is Senator James Paterson, who of course was on this committee, is now the Shadow Minister for Cybersecurity and Home Affairs. James Paterson, welcome. I'm going to come back to you on this whole brouhaha with Richard Marles in a moment. But Khalil says that the Home Affairs Minister failed to endorse the relisting, as is normally the case. And these aren't just run-of-the-mill organisations. These are some of the worst terror organisations in the world. Islamic State West Africa, Boko Haram. What's going on here?
It's a great question, Peter, and your description of this as a fiasco is absolutely spot on. One of the most powerful tools that the government has to combat terrorism is the power to list an organisation as a terrorist organisation, and very serious criminal penalties flow on from that listing. It makes it a crime to be a member of that organisation, to associate with that organisation, to raise funds for that organisation. And so it's absolutely critical that the process for listing an organisation like that is very carefully followed. Now, when we were in government, there was only one minister who was responsible for that, and that is the Minister for Home Affairs. And whether it was Karen Andrews or Peter Dutton, they efficiently discharged their responsibility to do so. Under this government, there are now two ministers who are responsible for it, the Attorney General, Mark Dreyfus, and the Minister for Home Affairs, Clare O'Neil. And we had already seen, after the election, the machinery of government changes they made to effectively demolish the Department of Home Affairs had led to a massive blowout in the time taken to list a terrorist organisation. And now this very serious administrative stuff-up has dropped the Minister from Home Affairs from the process altogether, whereas previously she was writing to express her support and confirm that these organisations should be listed. On this occasion, she simply forgot to do so or was excluded by some way from doing so. We are not at the bottom of this yet, but it was a very significant step for the chair of the Intelligence Committee to write to the Minister to effectively rebuke her for having stuffed this up.